Witherspoon Insurance Agency in Shelby has been serving families across Shelby and Cleveland County. And today, Wayne Witherspoon continues the tradition of bringing you the best insurance at the best possible price. With names like The Hartford, Safeco, Progressive, National General, and Travelers. Drop by the office today at 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby and talk with one of their friendly hometown agents. Witherspoon Insurance Agency, your independent insurance agency since 1986.
Who shops at Putnam Distributors in Patterson Springs? Professional mechanics, shade tree mechanics, do-it-yourselfers, farmers, truckers, and industries. And maybe you should too. They have a knowledgeable and friendly parts counter staff, and they're glad to help you out anytime. And best of all, Putnam's prices are low on everything for everybody. Give them a call at 704-487-9395. It's in the phone book. Or visit them online at PutnamDistributors.com. Located in downtown Patterson Springs off Highway 180 South. Just look for the signs.
5% down delivers at Sheila's Sheds in Cherryville and Hickory. Get your old Hickory building today with no credit checks and free delivery and setup. Ask about the new rent-to-own cabanas, plus new animal shelters. And carports start as low as $8.95 and get 90 days the same as cash. Visit your nearest location. Highway 150 East in Cherryville next to the Ferguson's Ace Hardware, and 2104 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, right below the Cleveland Mall.
Has your old heating and air conditioning system been giving you trouble? Have no fear. Bill Shuford Heating and Air is here, and they service all makes and models. Just call 704-484-0025. Bill Shuford Heating and Air has been Cleveland County's leader in home comfort since 1983, featuring American Standard heating and air conditioning systems. Visit them online at BillShufordHVAC.com. Bill Shuford Heating and Air, 213 Campbell Street in Shelby. The Roundup store in Shelby is now your brand new Festool dealer in this area. Festool brings you 90 years of perfection. With Festool, your tools are always in good hands. From drills to screwdrivers to dust extraction, also sawing, routers, and more. And all with a 3-year comprehensive warranty. Buy with confidence. Buy a Festool tool today. Now available at the Roundup store, Highway 74 Bypass, East End Shelby.
Buying a home can seem like a daunting task, but it's really not with Homestar Financial. With a short phone call, we can get you pre-approved. Once pre-approved, you're free to shop for the home of your dreams. At Homestar Financial, we can tell you the price or payment range that you qualify for. Your realtor will appreciate that you took the time to get pre-approved. So call me today. Let's make buying a home a dream come true. With Homestar Financial, it's quick and easy with no surprises at closing. Call today.
Have you got a ping, pang, ding going on with your car or truck? Then take it to A-Plus Automotive in Shelby. A-Plus Automotive does all types of automotive repairs, from tune-ups to oil changes and complete diagnostic work. And they are a North Carolina inspection station with over 30 years of experience. See A-Plus Automotive in Shelby. They also do AC and heater repair. Get her running today with a stop at A-Plus Automotive, 1900 Elizabeth Avenue in Shelby. See Charlie Heston today or call 704-482-0441 for A-Plus Automotive in Shelby.
You hear them pads going click, 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 click. You hear them clicks going tap, 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 tap.
704 beats by Alex J.
Yeah. First and 10. We in the trenches. You like the water cooler.
Back here on the Witherspoon Insurance Agency pregame show, Shannon Allen, Hunter Yancey, and Terry Reinhardt, who is to my left. And Terry, we got more on the board to go to for our area games. For those of you that are just now watching on YouTube, we do apologize for not having the stream up earlier, but you did not miss any of our takes on the games that we will be having tonight on our channels on YouTube and on our radio channels. We're saving that for last. Got to save the best for last.
Oh no, let's talk about that Madison Rosman game again.
Oh, you want to talk about that? You want us to just go all the way back to all those games we had no idea about. But we're going to pick up with East Lincoln at Ashbrook. Terry.
Okay. Ashbrook leads this all-time series 5-1. The only win for East Lincoln come way back in 2001, a 20-13 win. then. That was well before Mike Bias and anybody was there, But Ashbrook, 2002 they won 21-0, 2003 40-12, 2004 26-13. Last couple times they played, 2017 Ashbrook won 18-3, 2018 last year they beat them 30-14. And I try to be a person when I'm picking games when it's not close. It's usually going to go to the team who's pretty much dominating this. And I do know Ashbrook has a lot of talent, a lot of speed. It's just can they play together. Last week they pretty much got pummeled, but bouncing back this week, and they're playing at home. East Lincoln's coming down there. East Lincoln with a big win last week, but I think this will be the week that Ashbrook steps up and runs this record to 6-1 against East Lincoln with a 24-20 win late in the fourth quarter.
Who'd East Lincoln, who'd they beat last week? 41-6, 41-7, something like that? Y'all remember?
East Rowan.
East Rowan. So, it's one of those. This is actually could be one of the better games tonight.
It could be.
Ashbrook, traditionally, as you said, Terry, that they are dominant and they're going to have speed, they're going to have size, and they're playing at home. So everything's pointing towards Ashbrook. Except I think I like East Lincoln in this one. I think East Lincoln, Jeremiah Wright, their quarterback, I think or the receiver they got. These are good kids. Lewitz is a good defensive-minded coach, where Andrews is that South Point coaching tree. He's going to just continue to do what, run the football. And I think Lewis is going to stop and say, hey, if you're going to beat me, you're going to have to do something else. And I think that's what's going to change the atmosphere, and that's what's going to put the momentum on the Mustang side. So I say East Lincoln will win this game, and I'd say it's going to be 28-14.
I was going to take East Lincoln to win this game as well.
Okay, if y'all want to lose, go ahead.
Hey, I'm just saying, sometimes, it's easy to go with history, but sometimes you got to change history if you want East Lincoln. Really,
that's what you got to do.
Because this is the thing. East Lincoln probably knows this record as well. They probably know, hey, we're 6-1 against these guys. Can we just make it 6-2? Can we claim this one? They probably remember the loss last year. I'm taking East Lincoln. I don't think it's going to be as high scoring as that. I think it's going to be 14-10 East Lincoln.
Yeah. And Ashbrook had that big running back last year too.
Yeah.
Of course, I can't remember his name, but he was all their offense, and now he's gone. So I think, yeah. So anyway.
Oh yeah, and I have to look at you, Terry, and say, why not? Why not East Lincoln? Why not? East Lincoln is 8th in the What's Up Shopper Power Poll, 1-0. They've only played once. They started week 1 with a bye and then beat East Rowan last week. They have 3 power points. RS Central will be playing at Polk County. And ladies and gentlemen, if you do not know, RS Central is number 1 in the What's Up Shopper Power Poll. Kevin is so proud of this thing, this little piece of paper. He is so proud of this power poll. RS Central sits on top. Shannon.
They're going to fall tonight. They're playing a Polk County team that is traditionally very sound. They're not great when they play the bigger, faster, more stronger physical teams, but they will be in the ball game. They'll keep themselves in there. And Central is in that spread offense. They've been there now for a couple years. They're trying to get the kids to buy into it. And hey, these first 2 games they did well. I mean, they actually, they won games against McDowell and against Patton.
Yeah.
Okay, let's be real. McDowell and Patton. Okay, so I'm thinking now you're going to play a team that's a little bit better. It's going to be a little bit more physical than those 2 teams were. And, of course, my buddy Lamont Jones at Polk County, coach of defensive back. So I'm going to say Polk County at home, and it's going to be 35-14. I think it's going to be if you want to call that a blowout, I don't think it's going to be close. I think Polk will win.
Well, I remember a few years back when everybody was talking about Shelby, how tough they were, and I remember RS Central had to play them on a Monday night after it had rained on a Friday. And when they went to play on that Monday night, RS Central hung with Shelby, and Shelby went on to win a state title. But RS Central hung with Shelby for about 3 quarters in that game. And I keep looking at them. I think when they step outside to play somebody, they can compete. And again, I'm with you on Patton and McDowell. But I think tonight's game is going to be closer than what we think. But I'm also going to go with you. I'm going to take Polk County. I must say 27-21.
And let's go to that was in 2014 because I remember that game, and let's remember Polk County beat RS that year as well.
I was going to take Polk County as well. Polk County also had a victory last week against North Gaston. They put 24 points up and held North Gaston scoreless So I'm going to take Polk County as well. I'm thinking it's going to be 28-7 over RS Central. Clover will be traveling to South Point. Terry, what are your thoughts on this game?
Well, this is a patriotism bowl game. They'll have military vehicle displays, helicopter flyovers, parachute jump to start the game. South Point comes in with, I think his name's Ray Rose, that's going to Carolina. I think he's back tonight for them. But you're playing a Clover team that, I'm going to say for the last few years, has just dominated Gaston County. I mean, when they come down here, they seem to sweep. They play Forest View, they play South Point, they play anybody down there who wants to play them, Stuart Kramer, whoever, and they seem to come out with a top-notch 2 or 3 or 4-0 record against them. And I think they're going to do that tonight. I think this will be loss number 2 for South Point. A lot of people kind of question, is South Point as strong? When they played Lincoln and Lincoln, they only beat Lincoln 14-0. I kind of sit back and say maybe offensive-wise they've not got to where they need to be. But I'm going to take Clover tonight, 37-21.
Yeah, that score last week against Lincoln was shocking. I talked to their former coach, Mickey Lineberger, this week, and he even said, you got to give credit to Lincoln. Coach Glass that's up there now.
Yes.
He's like, they're going to get better. He's like, they've got the athletes. He's like, it's just right now it's just a learning curve for them. He said, but they will be better. So that told me a lot about Lincoln. But South Point, Rose will be back, and I don't care if he's back or not, because you've got to have a quarterback to be able to throw it to him. And Rose is a receiver. That's what he wants to play. That's what he's going to Carolina to play. Good for him. But if nobody's going to be able to get him the football, you could stick, you could put Beckham Jr. out there or whatever, but you've got to be able to get somebody to quarter, or you've got to be able to get him the football. And they've got Nassim Jones as their fullback at South Point, but still – you're going to face a Clover team that is coming in and say, we don't care who you are. The Patriotism Bowl, Coach Ken Hyde is at South Point. He's a retired colonel, I think, so this is big for them down there. But Clover's they're going to come in there and they're going to beat them. And it's one of those like 35-14 type games. It's South Point, they're decent. They're going to be good at what they do. But until they find a quarterback, you got to have a kid that can ride all the rides at Carowinds. You can't just stick a little kid in there. You know what I'm saying? So they gotta find them a quarterback.
That's I think that's everything on all levels of football. If you can't figure out the quarterback position, you're gonna struggle. I can see Clover winning this game as well. South Point last week did defeat Lincoln, as you said, 14-0, and like you, I raised my eye why they only scored 14 because I have seen the Lincoln squad play, and I was very shocked that the defense stepped up and only allowed 14 points.
Lincoln could come back at the end of the year and be one of those teams that barely gets in the playoffs and be that 16th. I'm not saying they will. It'd be that 16th seeded team and then have to go play some team in the mountain. Well, and I'm seeing that just by, once these kids start winning, momentum starts taking over, and you can tell. It could be dangerous.
And I'm with you there. I think this team's going to continuously get better. Will they have enough wins though? Can they pull out some wins to help them? We'll get to their game later, but tonight's a big night for them.
It is. We'll go to the other game. On actually the final game for our surrounding areas. It is East Gaston at Stuart Kramer. I got to see a little bit of Stuart Kramer when Lincoln was there before the Lightning delayed it. But East Gaston, I know, also lost their first game of the year to North Gaston, who is playing tonight as well, 21-14. I cannot remember who I just went to. Is it Shannon's turn to start with this, or is it Terry's
you go
turn?
ahead,
Shannon, I'll let you do it.
All right, so this game, both teams, or East Gaston's 0-1, Stuart Kramer's 1-1. East Gaston's got a lot of struggles. They're just trying to stay above water right now. Treading hard, and but Stuart Kramer, they're averaging. I think I read it here is 3.7 yards per carry. So they're just going to run the ball at they're going to run the ball against East Gaston, and Kramer should have no trouble tonight. 49-7, Stuart Kramer.
49-7. I'm gonna say 35-7. Stuart Kramer. I don't know what Stuart Kramer scored 49.
These guys are probably
well then I'll meet in the middle. I'll meet in the middle and say 42-7. Stuart Kramer. Yeah, Stuart Kramer. They are a little bit limited. Obviously, they want to put the ball on the floor because their tight end. He's out for the season with the ACL tear. So that's the key player on that offense. That's the key player on that offense for Stuart Kramer. And so that is all of the games in the surrounding area that we will be talking about. We've already gone through 2 boards. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's the time that everybody has been waiting for. It is for our KTC broadcasting games, and one of the main reasons I saved these towards the end is because we can at least go in a little bit more in-depth conversation about these teams. We've seen a lot of these teams play, or we've heard a lot of them being broadcast over our own channels. So we're going to start with the game that stands out to me tonight. The Crest Chargers are at the Burns Bulldogs tonight. Terry, I'm going to start with you.
Okay, these two started meeting way back in 1967. 53 meetings to the series through 2018. Crest leads 40 wins, 12 wins for Burns, and 1 tie. 1 tie come in 1976, 13-13. 1 overtime game between these two squads. Crest won it in 2007, 12-9. Crest's longest winning streaks from 1999 to 2010, 12 games. Burns' longest streak from 1979 to 1981, 3 games. People says this is a rivalry. No, it's not. It's a team that Crest pretty much dominates year after year after year. And Shannon will have different opinions about this, and everybody says, well, it's a matchup between county foes. Well, okay, I'm with you, but for the last 7 years, Crest has come out on top. So, to me, and I'm going to let Shannon do a lot more in-depth on this.
Go ahead.
But I'm going to take it right off the bat. Crest's defense is way too strong. And last year, they beat them 63-14 with a team that I thought couldn't score 63 on them. The year before that, they scored 56 on them. This score right here will be Crest 42, Burns 14.
All right, so last week both teams come off big wins. Crest against Roberson and Burns against Asheville. Crest, yeah, Terry, I agree with what you said there. Crest has been very dominant in this series the past 7 years. They've been pretty much had their will with them. But again, this is a new coach, and this is a different team than it was 7 years ago or the past 7 years. Because you had some great teams Crest had in those years. Okay. But last week, I think the Jalen Graham kid, his running back, I think he broke something in his hand. It is something, so I don't know if he's going to play tonight.
But you got to look at that defense.
I'm getting there. So it's one of those things that Crest, they played a great game last week, but against a very subpar team. All right?
I agree.
But also looking to next week, they've got Shelby waiting. This is the game, as a coach, you're probably thinking, do not overlook Burns. Coach Evans is probably saying, don't overlook Burns. I know we got Shelby next week, but this could be what tradition call a trap game.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking at that saying, okay, weighing all the factors. Burns, on the other hand, last week dominated Asheville, come out of the woodwork after getting blown out by Kings Mountain the first game of the season. Cameron Sweezy, quarterback, threw for over 240-something yards, ran a 30-yard touchdown or 35-yard touchdown, whatever it was. It's always been about Pryor. All right, now it's about Pryor's got some help. All right, and this is a team that got beat last year. Basically, all of them's back. Yeah, we remember that tail whooping we got last year. So now we've got to do something about it. So I'm looking at this game thinking Burns is going to have the advantage because of what's next week when it's Shelby and Crest. I think Crest is going to be looking ahead. I hope they're not. But I'm going to say, and they're playing at Burns. Burns has got a little swagger right now. This could be one of those games that people saying, Crest will easily win. Rightfully so. But you got to look at other factors. And I think Burns right now, I think they're probably in a better position than Crest is. So I'm going to say Burns will actually win this one. And I'm going to say 28-24. 28-24. And it's going to – what are you doing? Anyway, so I'm going to leave it at that.
Well, I'll just say this. Crest is number 3 in our What's Up Shopper Power Poll.
RS Central's number 1.
I know they are. I know that. Crest is – now, I'm going to say Burns. Crest is 3rd. They're 2-0, 5 power points. And Burns is 12th. They're 1-1 with 2 power polls. Of course, their first loss this year for Burns came against Kings Mountain, who I think a lot of us can say probably is top 3 team in the western part of North Carolina in 3A. So this is what I was doing. I've only got stats on the games that we're covering tonight. But so far, Crest, of course, is 2-0. They've won the first game 13-7 against South Points, and that's another good show of dominance on the defensive side of it, but they backed it up last week, Crest did, holding TC Roberson to a big old goose egg while also scoring 47. So this is where I was looking at it. But, you know, Burns, they scored 6 against Kings Mountain. They let up 34. They scored 54 and let up 22 against Asheville. Both of these teams so far this season have scored 60 points for their team.
Mm-hmm.
Burns has allowed 56 points, while Crest has only allowed 7. Now, you could say, well, TC Roberson's not really much of a threat. You don't really know if their offense is really that good, but maybe that's just a testament to how good Crest's defense is. Now, I've seen Crest play. I remember watching Crest play last year in the Jamboree when it was down in Shelby, and that was probably one of the hardest-hitting defenses I've seen in high school football. I don't know how much they lost last year going into this year on the defensive side of the ball. But defense wins championships. And I know we're not talking about a championship, but this is going to be a big game. I think Burns also is going to have a slight advantage because it is at home, but I don't think home field advantage is going to be enough to win this game. I think Crest comes out and holds Burns to 14 and scores 24. I think it's going to be a 10-point victory by Crest just because I think Crest's defense is just that good.
Well, I agree, but we're giving T.C. Roberson and South Point too much credit, I think, right now. T.C. Roberson, a buddy of mine, Terry Grayson, he lives up here in Bellwood. He said he could beat T.C. with his Pee-wees, with his Little League team. So, I mean, let's be real about that. But in South Point, they played Crest. They didn't have a quarterback. Their best receiver's out, and basically just ran a fullback, and it was because of a fumble at the end of the game that saved the win for Crest. So I'm taking those factors into play here.
Now, I can see your factor of them looking over to Shelby because that happens on every level.
Absolutely.
College level, and a lot of the times professional level. But you got to remember, like Bill Belichick always say, we're on to Cincinnati. I think Crest is going to say we're on to Burns.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be able to bring a lot of pressure up front onto their quarterback and I think they'll be able to stack the box enough against Pryor as well. So I don't know. I think Crest is going to have a 24-14 win. Not saying, of course, I'm not going to say Burns won't score, but this will be the most points that Crest has led up so far in this season.
Okay.
So we're going to go now to we were just talking about him. And I don't think this game's really going to be close, but we are covering it. It's going to be on first off, let me say this. The Crest and Burns game, you can watch it on Crest Chargers YouTube channel, or you can listen to it on WOHS 1390 AM, 101.5 FM. I forgot to mention that.
Hi.
But we're going we're gonna. All right, fine. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll be able to go over the last of the games that we'll be having on our channels. You are listening to KTCBroadcasting.com.
Since 1986, Witherspoon Insurance Agency in Shelby has been serving families across Shelby and Cleveland County. And today, Wayne Witherspoon continues the tradition of bringing you the best insurance at the best possible price. With names like The Hartford, Safeco, Progressive, National General, and Travelers. Drop by the office today at 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby and talk with one of their friendly hometown agents. Witherspoon Insurance Agency, your independent insurance agency since 1986.
Hey, cookouts begin with a Traeger grill, and Hometown Hardware in Kings Mountain, located on South Railroad Avenue, is your Traeger grill headquarters. Check out the Traeger rubs and accessories too, and see the line of Kate's Knives, and the old Milwaukee blowers, and Husqvarna mowers, chainsaws, and trimmers and blowers. And cabbage plants are now in stock. Get yours today. So head on over to Hometown Hardware, located at 110 South Railroad Avenue in Kings Mountain.
Laughlin Furniture's fall sale is now underway. Check out their great buys on outdoor rocking chairs starting at $99, swings for $119, three-piece outdoor wood pub table set for $229, recliners for football season so you can sit back, relax, and watch the games from $199 to $999. Located at 400 North Lafayette Street, Shelby, Laughlin Furniture has quality indoor and outdoor products to help you spruce up your home for fall season. So shop their fall sale and save. Home of the real deals, 704-484-3204, LaughlinFurnitureOutlet.com.
Hey, you know, fall cleanup time is just around the corner. Be ready this year with a stop at Cleveland Lumber Company in Shelby. Check out their lines of leaf blowers like Weed Eater, Black & Decker, and the Makita X2 leaf blower. Buy the Makita X2 leaf blower now and get 4 free 50 AH batteries. That's a $240 value. Gas or electric weed eaters start at only $61.99. Plus, get your rakes and shovels too at Cleveland Lumber Company, located at 217 Airwood Street in Shelby. The Roundup store in Shelby is now your brand new Festool dealer in this area. Festool brings you 90 years of perfection. With Festool, your tools are always in good hands. From drills to screwdrivers to dust extraction, also sawing, routers, and more. And all with a 3-year comprehensive warranty. Buy with confidence. Buy a Festool tool today. Now available at the Roundup store, Highway 74 Bypass, East End Shelby.
Buying a home can seem like a daunting task, but it's really not with Homestar Financial. With a short phone call, we can get you pre-approved. Once pre-approved, you're free to shop for the home of your dreams. At Homestar Financial, we can tell you the price or payment range that you qualify for. Your realtor will appreciate that you took the time to get pre-approved. So call me today. Let's make buying a home a dream come true. With Homestar Financial, it's quick and easy with no surprises at closing. Call today.
Gamble's Auto Service at 104 South DeKalb Street in Uptown Shelby is your one-stop service center for repair work on your auto. Locally owned and operated since 1980, they offer light and medium automotive repair on all types of vehicles. Bill Gamble and his friendly staff can do state inspections, minor engine repair work, brakes, air conditioning, and heating service, timing belts, tune-ups, and oil changes, and lubrication. And now Gamble sells new and used tires. Stop by and let Gamble's Auto Service take care of your automotive repairs and servicing. That's Gamble's Auto Service, 104 South DeKalb Street, Uptown Shelby. Call 704-487-5079.
Napa know-how.
Napa Auto Parts in Cherryville specializes in helping you with your hydraulic hose needs. When you break that hydraulic hose, why drive to Charlotte or Gastonia when they can be repaired or made up right in Cherryville? We have the 2-wire and 4-wire hydraulic hoses, from the small farm tractor to the large excavator. Come by and see the hydraulic specialist.
Napa know-how.
Your Napa store at Cherryville Auto and Truck Parts, Highway 150 West in Cherryville.
Since 1977, Shelby Heating and Air has been serving this area with the finest in Carrier heating and air conditioning products. Turn to the experts. Turn to Carrier and Shelby Heating and Air. Plus, they service all brands and are accredited A+. Visit their website at shelbyheating.com. Just call 704-487-7877 for Shelby Heating and Air, voted best heating and air conditioning in Cleveland County and a member of the Better Business Bureau.
You hear them clicks going.
704 beats by Alex J.
Yeah.
First and 10.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Take it away, Terry. Take it away.
That's
You want
it.
to keep going?
Win.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. That's what you're thinking.
We got kids listening.
Back here, Witherspoon Insurance Agency pregame show, Friday Night Football. We just got done before we took the break looking at the Crest Chargers Burns Bulldogs game that will be tonight. You can watch that on Crest Chargers YouTube channel or listen to that on WOHS 1390 AM 101.5 FM. The next game we're going to look at, we talked a little bit about one of the teams. Actually, we've talked a little bit about both the teams because they both have played, at least one of them has played Burns and the other one has played Crest. I have a feeling, though, this one is not going to be that close tonight. But Shannon, looks like we're getting ready to talk about the TC Roberson Rams making their way down to Kings Mountain to take on the Mountaineers.
Yeah, this is a big game for Kings Mountain because this is the first game back on where they're going to play on their turf field.
Yep.
They still don't have the track, but they've got the field in place, so there's going to be a lot of excitement down there. And so, from a coaching standpoint, you don't want to lose the first game on the turf. You especially to a team that's struggling like TC is. So Kings Mountain, TC don't want to be shut out 2 weeks in a row, but Kings, you're playing a team probably better than Crest is at this point in time, with more weapons, probably a better scheme as far as what they can do right now offensively, and about as good as defensively. So TC is probably going to be worse than last week. I'm going to say Kings Mountain pitches a shutout, 56-0, just for the fact that it's home. The kids are excited, and it's there's a great atmosphere right now at Kings Mountain.
I agree. Go ahead, Terry.
Well, it's a game that I sit back and I'm going to give TC Roberson some points. I think when you come, I saw last week they got behind Monroe 20-0. They bounced back, had no trouble. But sometimes they give up points that shouldn't be given up.
Stupid points.
Yeah, they do. You know, and I don't think this is even going to be close either. But I'm going to go Kings Mountain 62, TC Roberson 6.
Well, I mean, that's nice of you to at least give them 6. I'm going to look right here. Kings Mountain, obviously 2-0. TC Roberson 0-2. TC Roberson, first game they lost 50-21 to Watauga. We know Watauga is actually a powerhouse.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Everybody knows about Watauga, and really in the area they lost here. The next game they lost to Crest 47-0. Crest is a household name here as well. So it's not like TC Roberson has gotten beat by no names. You know what I'm saying? They've not gotten beat by people that they shouldn't have gotten beat to. I'm pretty sure every other team was favored. If there was a spread, it was a pretty heavy favor for Watauga and Crest over TC Roberson. But Kings Mountain in the first game, they're 2-0. They won 34-6 over Burns. In the second game, they came back, like you said, from 20-0 in the first quarter to win 35-20 against Monroe. They held them scoreless for the rest of the game. Yeah. This is what really stands out to me, though. TC Roberson's only scored 21 points. Kings Mountain has scored 69. And Kings Mountain has only allowed 26. TC Roberson has allowed 97 points in 2 games. Now, like I said, they played stout competition. Like I said, we can all agree. Watauga is a household name. Crest is a household name. Yeah. I think just because I know what Kings Mountain is made out of. I covered them last year. I traveled with them, and they didn't really lose. I thought they were going to lose a lot when Kalen Wade graduated. Ethan Reed stepped in. You know, he's a transfer from Florida. His family moved here from Florida. He stepped in and is filling his shoes perfectly. He doesn't have the wheels that Kalen Wade had. Doesn't have the wheels, but he doesn't need it. No, he doesn't need it. He's got a big arm, and that makes Kobe Paysauer so happy. And it makes Kobe Paysauer look just as good because he uses his speed to get open. Terry, I don't know if I can give TC Roberson some points. I know what you mean, though, because I've seen when I was there with Kings Mountain last year, they would have moments where they would play dumb. And I don't mean to say it like that, but they would. They would have maybe dumb penalties.
Well, last week they had turnovers.
Yeah, they had turnovers last week. Yeah. They had dumb penalties a lot last year, and that was one of the things coaches said they needed to clean up. They would get a lot of unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. They would get so fired up that they would just, because they were obviously playing so much more physical than the team they were playing against, that they would give them a free first down, give them another 10 to 15 yards down the field. So, but I don't think I see strength in this Kings Mountain's defense. I'm gonna go. I don't think they'll score as much as he gave them. I'm gonna go 42-0 Kings Mountain over TC Roberson.
I like how you broke that down, Hunter. You went down the steps to the basement in the house instead of going outside. Going down the steps to the basement.
I did.
Good job.
Hey, man. That's okay. Yeah. Look, let me tell you something. We still got a little bit of time to fill. Yeah. What do you want me to do? Just go ahead and say this and then have 5-6 minutes at the end of the show that we kind of just have to sit here and twiddle our fingers? I don't think you want me to do that.
Good job.
We gotta break the games down, Terry. We only got 2 more to talk about.
I don't think that one's too hard to break down.
I don't think it is. Look, I don't think it is either. But I brought depth. Okay, I brought depth. All right, we'll talk about the Cherryville Ironmen next, as they're going down to face Terry's West Lincoln Rebels. We're not starting with Terry. I refuse to do that.
Hold on, let me get ready.
We're gonna start with Shannon. Shannon, how bad does Cherryville beat West Lincoln tonight?
Nah, they don't. West Lincoln, you know, and that's not throwing any game against Pruitt. Hey, let me throw this out there. Coach Pruitt at Cherryville, I heard Wednesday they cut practice short so they could go help coach John Chavis Middle School football team. So hats off to Coach Pruitt, building good relationships there with the kids. But as far as tonight goes, Cherryville losing last week against Chase.
They did.
They got beat
40-0.
Yeah, so that was I thought Chase would win, but I didn't realize it may have been that big. So Cherryville, have had a great season last year. Coming back this year, I think they're gonna struggle tonight against West Lincoln. Terry, you've got all the names from West Lincoln you could throw out there as far as who they've got running the ball when they lost Fansook and the other kid from last year. So I'll just leave more time to you. I say West Lincoln wins 35-7 over Cherryville.
Okay, I mean when I come into this game, don't get me wrong, I love Coach Pruitt as much as I love any coach around here, but when you come into this game, you got beat 40-0 by Chase. Yeah. And I don't think that, you got Blanton but name me some other players who's really going to help. And I know it develops in time, and sometimes you have good players and not enough help around him. And I'm not saying the other guys are not trying, because every kid that goes out there does the best they can with what they got. This squad from West Lincoln's, and I keep telling people they're a little bit better than what people think. I mean, they're going to line up and you got Xander Pendergrass in the backfield and then run it fullback Cannon Bridges. Cannon Bridges set the second leading rusher of all time at West Lincoln in what he performed against Drone, 269 yards. The only guy who ever got any more yards, and you have to understand, Cannon Bridges only really played a half in that game against Drone. But Clay Leatherman leads West Lincoln all time. He had 279 yards against Bessemer City, but two of the best rushing attacks ever, and the third and the fourth one all time for West Lincoln come against Cherryville. Mike George had 268 yards way back on 9/5/2014, and Zane Peterson did it the very next year, 262 yards on 9/4/2015. West Lincoln's won the last 7, and they've outscored them 43-13 in those games at an average. So, I mean, this game is going to be, and I'm not going to say it's all they want to score, because when I put them together, a lot of people said it's North Lincoln and West Lincoln. How many do they want to score tonight? You're playing West Colwell and you're playing Cherryville. West Lincoln is a better team, and I just think in due time, I mean, the wear and tear that West Lincoln's going to do is going to wear Cherryville down. I've got West Lincoln 49, Cherryville 14.
I'd say this. Got a lot of respect for Coach Pruitt. Obviously, I think we can all say that up here. I appreciate Coach Pruitt calling in every Saturday. Every Saturday for football season, win or loss. Sometimes even if it isn't football season, win or loss, he's giving us a good insight on what it's like to be a high school coach in these days, what his kids are doing. I appreciate him calling in, but Coach, unfortunately today, West Lincoln not only do I think might have the better squad, and I'm not going to say by a lot, because I think Cherryville's got a very good squad underneath them. West Lincoln also has had a week of rest. They're coming off a bye week right now. West Lincoln is. They've been able to watch a little bit more film. And West Lincoln's defense, I think, is just as good this year as it was last year. In their first game against Drawn, they only allowed 13 points. They scored 52 as well.
Yeah, and most of them 13 points come against the second and third team. So
I think this is going to be tough. Cherryville was allowed 60 so far in 2 games. I'm going to have to give it to West Lincoln. I know I like to pick with Terry, but I'm just going to be serious here. I think West Lincoln comes out on top 35-7 over Cherryville.
This series always started way back in 1977. Dennis Bird was the coach at West Lincoln back then. Tom Wright was at Cherryville. He went 7-3. He only coached there 1 year, but he went 7-3. And Cherryville won the first meeting against these squads, and then West Lincoln won the next year to even the series up at 1-1. But again, West Lincoln does lead this series now 25-17 after they've won the last 7.
And the final game that we get to talk about tonight, Lincolnton Wolves are traveling down the street from us, actually, to North Gaston to face the Wildcats. Well, hold on, let me go back. I forgot to say this. Cherryville Ironman West Lincoln Rebels, listen to them on WCSL 1590 AM, 92.3 FM, KTCBroadcasting.com. It's where you can listen to the Cherryville Ironman West Lincoln game. Lincolnton Wolves, North Gaston. I'll just go ahead and get this one out of the way. WLON 1050 AM, 107.5 FM. KTCBroadcasting.com as well. If you do go to KTCBroadcasting.com, all you got to do is click Listen Live and go to the tab that says whether it's WLON, WCSL, WOHS, and there you go. You can listen to us live on your phone, laptop, tablet, however your listening means are. But, gentlemen, we got a game to talk about between Lincolnton Wolves and North Gaston Wildcats, and I'm going to be nice when I say this. These are not two of the stronger teams in their conference, in their respective conferences, but I think them playing against each other is going to give us a better game than we think. What say you, Shannon?
Lincoln comes in 0-2, North Gaston 1-1. Lincolnton, again, like I said a while ago, Coach Glass, I think he's going to turn it around up there, and I think he's got athletes to do it. This is the type of game that it could start to turn. This is a game they should win. They've struggled the past 2 weeks, but they've played probably stouter competition. North Gaston's not going to bring much to the table tonight, and so I think Lincolnton, even though they're going down to Dallas and playing down there, I think Lincoln will rebound. Manjaris is out, I think, for Northgaston, right? Is it Manjaris?
Lincoln.
Yes, he is.
Or for Lincoln.
He's out for Lincoln, yes. That's the quarterback.
That's their quarterback. And I think that he's, if he doesn't play, this is where the other guy's got to step up. Okay, we can't rely on one guy. We got to be a team here. So I think Lincoln wins 21-0, and it's going to be, 21-7. And I think it'll be one of those games that will propel them making that next step in the season.
And I'm going to go with you. I think this is a game that Lincoln can win. If Majerus does not play, they're going to go with freshman Reed King. He's the guy who took over in the first half last week.
He did well. I mean,
he did.
Well.
I mean, he did. And plus, you had to give him a whole week of prep for this game, and I think that means a lot. It's not like you're going in here and he hasn't touched the ball or been in front of a team on the other side of him. I think Lincoln is defense. I'm with you 100% on this. I think that defense of Lincoln will keep them in every game that they play this year. And I'm just going to say that flat out. I don't know whether they have the offense to play with people that can score enough points, but I'm going to take Lincoln, and I'm almost on the same scale as you has. I got 21-7 myself.
I'm going to take Lincoln. I watched Lincoln play against Stuart Kramer, and I agree with Terry on I think their defense is going to keep them in a lot of games. So far in 2 games, they've only allowed 24 points.
24 total points.
24 total points. But the hard part is they have only scored 7 points so far this year. The offense has a little bit of a challenge moving the ball down the field. When I was watching them against Stuart Kramer, the best drive that they had that they scored on, unfortunately the only touchdown they've had so far this year, they were able to get the ball to the edge. If they move the ball laterally, they've got the speed to get out there. So the team's speedy, it's athletic. We just got to see if it all comes together. I'm going to pick Lincoln to win this game. Lincoln, like you said, Coach Glass, this is his first season here. He's going to have these boys turned around at some point. The defense will keep them in the game. I'm not going to say that they score that much, though. I think the defense will be able to hold Northgaston.
Defense needs to create turnovers, and whether the offense scores or the defense scores, they got to put points on the board.
Which I agree 100%. Yeah. But to me, I think it's going to be 14-0. I think Lincoln gets 2 more touchdowns to add to their season, but the defense stays pretty stout.
They do. And before we do go away, we do need to touch base on 2 other games in our area, just quick.
Yep.
First one, Forest View's at Bessemer City. Forest View 0-2, Bessemer City 0-1. Bessemer City did turn the ball over in their first game quite often, and I got Bessemer City coming out on top of this one. Both of them are rebuilding to me, I think, but Bessemer City wins 21-10.
Yeah, Bessemer City I think they easily win. Forest View's got a lot of problems, struggling down there, so I'm going to say 28-14, Bessemer.
What's the next one?
And our last one, we didn't have Bandy's against South Caldwell. Bandy's 2-0, South Caldwell 2-0.
Wow.
That's a big game. I mean, when you come into this one, Bandy's comes in here with a rushing 788 yards. They've got 4 guys on that team. We talked about one guy last year. They got 4 guys over 100 yards already on this squad, so they're doing it by committee.
I wonder who it was that left that game off the board. Huh.
Who would have known?
Who would have thought that the alumni here would be upset about that?
I
would have never known.
But I'm taking South Caldwell to win.
What?
Tonight, 21-14.
Oh, wow.
Terry, I picked West Lincoln. How dare you?
Yeah, Bandy's, I think, will win. I think it's going to be a close game, 24-21, but Bandy's, I think, will win. South Caldwell, hey, they may be for real
They
this
beat
year.
Maiden last week.
I know, that surprised me.
They did beat Maiden last week. I'm going to take my alumni to win that game, 21-14. Bandy's over South Caldwell. You heard it here, Trojan Country. And with that, we're going to start wrapping up this show. Again, going to go over the games that we have on our broadcast. Crest Chargers, Burns Bulldogs. Watch on the Crest Chargers YouTube channel. You can listen WOHS 1390 AM, 101.5 FM. Another one that is YouTube only. It is on the WOHS YouTube channel. TC Roberson is going to go down to Kings Mountain Mountaineers. If you want to watch a really good football team, ladies and gentlemen, you can have the other games on the radio, and with online, you can have multiple tabs open. But this Kings Mountain Mountaineers team, that's someone you really need to watch. So that's on WOHS YouTube channel. Another one that's going to be on YouTube and radio. Watch the Burns Bulldogs YouTube. Actually, I just went over that one, didn't I? Why do we have it up here twice?
Because Burns and Chris, they both have their own YouTube channels. So maybe,
Oh, so it's on both.
It's on both of them.
Oh, it's on both YouTube channels. Okay, well, here, Crest, you can watch it on the Crest Chargers YouTube channel or the Burns Bulldogs YouTube channel. And then the Cherryville Ironmen versus West Lincoln, they will be traveling down to Vale. WCSL 1590 AM, 92.3 FM, and the Lincolnton Wolves will be playing at North Gaston. WLON 1050 AM, 107.5 FM. Again, all of the games that we have on the radio, if you don't get them in your area over the dial, you can go to ktcbroadcasting.com, click Listen Live, and click on the tab for either WCSL, WOHS, and WLON, and you can listen that way. From Shannon Allen, Terry Reinhardt, and Hunter Yancey, enjoy another Friday night of high school football, and you've been listening to the Witherspoon Insurance Agency pregame show here on KTCBroadcasting.com.
Since 1986, Witherspoon Insurance Agency in Shelby has been serving families across Shelby and Cleveland County. And today, Wayne Witherspoon continues the tradition of bringing you the best insurance at the best possible price. With names like The Hartford, Safeco, Progressive, National General, and Travelers. Drop by the office today at 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby and talk with one of their friendly hometown agents. Witherspoon Insurance Agency, your independent insurance agency since 1986.
5% down delivers at Sheila's Sheds in Cherryville and Hickory. Get your old Hickory building today with no credit checks and free delivery and setup. Ask about the new rent-to-own cabanas, plus new animal shelters. And carports start as low as $8.95 and get 90 days the same as cash. Visit your nearest location, Highway 150 East in Cherryville next to the Ferguson's Ace Hardware, and 2104 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, right below the Cleveland Mall.
The fun starts before you get to work
I listen on my way to work.
and keeps you feeling good all day.
Puts us in a great mood.
101.5 FM and 1390 AM. WOHS Shelby, the boss.
All right, 3 minutes after 7 o'clock. Coming up next, high school football tonight. Crest Chargers and the Burns Bulldog from Burns High School. That'll be coming up here in just a few minutes with tonight's pregame show. Attention Kmart Pharmacy customers. You are welcome at Medical Arts Pharmacy on Grover Street in Shelby and Professional Pharmacy on East College Avenue in Bowling Springs. Bring your prescription transfers to your hometown locally owned pharmacies. All you need is your prescription bottle for your transfer. So if you've been a Kmart Pharmacy customer, you are invited to transfer your prescriptions over to Medical Arts Pharmacy, 108 Grover Street in Shelby, and Professional Pharmacy, 139 East College Avenue in Bowling Springs. Your locally owned and operated hometown pharmacies.
Napa know-how. Napa Auto Parts in Leggington will be celebrating 50 years of business this December. Owner and operated by Eddie Wims and his son Jason Wims, has an inventory that is up to date, and their professional staff can help you with any part that you need. Stop by Napa Auto Parts today, located at 136 North Generals Boulevard, open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., Saturdays 8 to 4:30 p.m., or call 704-735-0411. Napa Auto Parts also would like to say good luck to the Maiden Blue Devils this season and to number 55, Presley Poovey. Napa know-how.
Do you have a wet basement or a wet crawl space? How about mold and mildew? Neeline Coal Moisture and Water Control can help. Control moisture in your home to keep safe from fungal growth, mold colonization, and its destruction. Neeline Coal, proudly serving the Carolinas. Call Neeline Coal today at 1-888-7-THE-WEB for a free estimate and get $25 off any new service. Again, that number is 1-888-7-THE-WEB for Neeline Coal, Moisture and Water Control. Now's the time to buy your new Kubota from Parker Farm Service in Kings Mountain. Right now, pay zero money down. Get 0% APR financing for 60 months. Come on in now for all the details. All for good on the Kubota BX Series, the Kubota B Series, the Kubota L Series, and the Kubota MX Series tractors. Again, zero money down and 0% APR financing for 60 months. Get your new Kubota today at Parker Farm Service, 126 Bessie Drive in Kings Mountain.
Tom Senefani and Matthew Royster here with you, bringing this Bill Shuford Heating and Air pregame show. Call our friends at Bill Shuford, 704-484-0025. So what we're going to do is give you a little introduction to tonight's game, what it means, where the teams are standing. I'm going to give you a player to watch, and earlier I said it was West End Sales. They give you the stadium halftime show. It's Full Throttle giving you the player to watch, so I need to correct that. Thank you to Full Throttle Power Sports, 704-833-1270. Check them out online, www.ncfullthrottle.com. So all your kind of cool stuff, motorcycles, ATVs, that kind of stuff, go see our friends at Full Throttle. So, Matthew, both teams coming in here off a win over Buncombe County. Burns with a big win over Asheville last week. It was 40-15 at halftime, and really they never looked back. And what I thought got on track for Burns' offense was, number one, Keywan Pryor had a nice day running the ball, and number two, Cameron Sweezy throwing the deep ball. And I think what we maybe lost sight of is it was a much better defensive game for Burns in their first effort. So those were my takeaways. What can you add to that?
I'm going to say Cameron Sweezy is the one that pops out at me. I mean, he threw for over 240-some yards.
I had him for 222. The coaches told me somewhere around 230, so somewhere around there, yes.
3 or 4 touchdowns. We don't have the actual stats, but he's going to be the difference maker tonight for Burns. If he plays well and can exploit this young team of Crest, are kind of in a rebuilding year this year. If he can exploit that secondary, I think, we're going to surprise a lot of people. I think, typically, we don't, Burns and Crest, I mean, they don't give us much chance to win this game usually. So it's I think we're going to shock a lot of people up here in Lawndale tonight.
Well, what the coaches were concerned when I talked to them is they're most concerned with blocking them up front. Coach Devine told me they have 2 very big defensive tackles, and Burns down Landon Hoyle tonight, and that hurts him on both sides of the ball because he does play offense and defense, so that hurts. Not having Landon really hurts.
Yeah.
So the other guys are going to have to pick up the slack, but they've got to move those big guys on the inside to open up the – you don't really need an alley for Keywan. You kind of need a crease there, and he can hit the second level. But that's not going to matter if up front they are able to. Whoa, there goes my daughter. They just caught her. Good. As long as they are able to get some kind of push and open up some kind of holes, the running game can get going. And I think that if that's a threat, then the passing game will be that much better. If they're able to bottle up Pryor and force